Move over collard green and spinach. There's a new green in town and we are coming for your crown. So stay tuned for this awesome callaloo recipe. Hi guys, welcome to Sam's Food Chronicles. If you love collard greens, spinach, or kale, you are going to die for this callaloo recipe I'm about to show you. Known as the amaranth plant, it is a green that is super delicious, nutritious, and really cheap. Like, come on, you can't top those. The callaloo plant grows everywhere in Jamaica and we love it so much, we eat it at every chance you can get. In my opinion, callaloo takes the best of spinach and collard greens. It is not too hard to cook and it's delicious, but not overpowering at the same time. So with that said, let's get straight into the recipe. You already know. In order to make the perfect callaloo dish, one must start with really good quality callaloo. And by that, I mean the leaf should be supple, it should be a young plant, freshly cut. The color should be brightly green, not like dark and old looking. It shouldn't have a lot of blemished leaves on there, so if you see any form of decaying or rot, we're just gonna take them off. So you go through the callaloo leaves for any critters and just take them out. You could soak them in water if it's in the fridge overnight to plump them up. But that's about it for the callaloo. For this recipe, we're also gonna add some onions, tomatoes, butter. I have here some chicken cubes and all-purpose seasoning, but you could forego this and just use salt and pepper if you are so inclined. And I have coconut oil for more flavor. So I don't use the stems, which is traditionally done. They take off the roughage from the outside, but it takes a lot of time, so I just forego by just cutting it off and just saving these ends for like making juice. Put them in your juicer and you have a base for your smoothies. My mom would say, Samantha, you're wasting the food. So I go through the stems and I take off these smaller leaves just to make sure I'm not wasting anything. Right, Mom? And these young leaves are super soft and yummy. Lots of flavor in them, so I wouldn't want to throw those away. These are the blossoms of the callaloo plant. We do not want to keep these. These can be dried and actually thrown in your garden and sprout more callaloo. Take 2 bunches, 2 huge heaps, and then we're just gonna take our chef knife. Make sure your knife is sharp, guys. Gonna fold and just make a rough chop. And then I have my bowl and we're going to submerge it in some water. Soak it for about 5 minutes. They're gonna plump up, they're gonna get rehydrated, and then we're gonna rinse them off. Don't forget, callaloo is versatile. You could use it to make chicken Florentine or stuffed chicken. You could do a callaloo quiche, a callaloo patty, or a callaloo empanada. You could do so many things. Callaloo soup, one of my favorites. I don't know, let me know which one of these recipes you'd like me to do next featuring callaloo, guys. Comment below. Callaloo doesn't require a ton of seasoning to taste great. The trick is getting the texture right and the salt level right. Dice 1 medium onion and set aside. Do the same with 1 small ripe tomato, which interestingly aids in iron absorption from the callaloo. They already know. Okay guys, we are ready to rumble, and I've got my saute pan. It should be at least about 3 inches deep so that we can steam it. Add 2 tablespoons of coconut oil, then 1 tablespoon of anchor butter, which is my favorite. Saute the onions for about 1 minute until just translucent. Avoid browning. And then we're gonna add our callaloo. We just take big heaps and just dump it in. It smells so good in here, guys. You won't believe. You won't miss meat when you eat callaloo like this. Trust me. So umami and meaty. Don't be afraid to pile it on. It has a lot of water content, so it's gonna shrink considerably. And gently stir and fold the callaloo on top of it itself, just so that the bottom ones don't burn. So now we're going to season at this point, and we're gonna use some chicken bouillon and just sprinkle it over it. And then we're gonna stir again, just to make sure the seasoning is evenly distributed. I'm going to taste and see if the salt content is good enough. I really do love callaloo. This is so yummy. Like it doesn't have this overpowering flavor profile like that I see in spinach. Guys, spinach lovers, no harm intended, but yeah, callaloo is the boss. I'm going to add my tomatoes, just sprinkle it, and then I like to put a little bit of water, maybe like 2 tablespoons, so that it almost like it's gonna boil the callaloo. It keeps it a lot more moist, so it doesn't dry out. All right, so we could serve it like this. It's al dente, has the right amount of salt. The flavor is just phenomenal. But if you want to give it to your kids, I would recommend cooking it down for about 3 more minutes so that the leaves wilt some more. It's just to make it a little more palatable for the children. So I'm going to cover it and just let it simmer on a low heat for about 2 to 3 more minutes before we serve. All right, I think it's ready. Now it's time for the grand unveiling of Le Callaloo. Ooh, it's perfect. Look how supple that is. How buttery and umami. Oh my goodness. Let's plate. Okay guys, we are ready to plate. That's it. Simple, nutritious, and delicious greens that your whole family will love. If you liked this video, please don't forget to like, subscribe, and share. Thanks for watching Sam's Food Chronicles.